He said given my father's escalating harassment with the confrontation, and now the HR complaint, we needed to file for a no-contact order immediately. He'd already started the paperwork and showed me where to sign while explaining that the pattern of behavior would make judges take this seriously. I signed everywhere he pointed while Oliver played with Dave's pen cap, grateful someone with a clear head was thinking about protecting us when I could barely think straight at all. Constance came back while Dave was still sorting papers and saw me staring at the hospital billing statement that had already started arriving. The numbers made my stomach drop because even one day in the ICU cost more than I'd ever seen in my life. She sat down next to me and pulled out a different folder, explaining that the hospital had charity care programs for situations exactly like mine. We spent the next hour filling out forms while Oliver played with the buttons on the hospital bed, with Constance helping me list my tiny income from online tutoring and showing me where to write that I had zero savings. She kept reassuring me that Miss Nyla's insurance would cover most of the medical costs, and the hospital wouldn't let me drown in debt over this. The relief made me cry again because I'd been imagining losing everything on top of losing her. That evening, my phone started blowing up with notifications from people I hadn't talked to since high school. Someone showed me my father's post on the town's Facebook community page, where he'd written this long thing calling Missy Nyla a predator who groomed vulnerable girls. He said she'd taken advantage of me when I was homeless and pregnant, twisting everything good she'd done into something sick. The comments were already piling up with some people defending her as the best teacher they'd ever had, while others who didn't know her were buying his lies and calling for investigations. I wanted to type out the truth about how she saved us, but Dave grabbed my phone and said absolutely not. He explained that anything I posted could be used against us later, and we needed to stay quiet for legal reasons, even though it killed me to see her name dragged through mud while she lay dying. The next morning, we had the big care meeting that Constance had scheduled with the whole medical team. The conference room was full of doctors and nurses and this woman who introduced herself as the hospital ethics consultant. She had this calm way of talking that made me feel less crazy as she explained quality of life and suffering and what it meant to honor someone's wishes. She pulled out Missy Nyla's advance directive again and read the parts where Ms. Nyla specifically said she didn't want machines keeping her alive if there was no hope. The consultant helped me understand that keeping her on life support when she explicitly didn't want it wasn't love but actually disrespecting what she believed in. By the end of the meeting, I was sobbing so hard I couldn't breathe, but I finally understood what I had to do even though every part of me wanted to keep her here forever. That night was the worst yet, because Oliver had nightmares and kept waking up screaming for Nana to check under the bed for monsters. He'd started sucking his thumb again, which he hadn't done since he was barely 1, and it broke my heart watching him go backward. I held him tight in the narrow hospital cot while he cried and kept asking why Nana wouldn't wake up to sing their special song that kept bad dreams away.